It's me, Flying MacGuffin, and welcome back to Let's Play Victoria 2, the Celtic Union. And, as you can maybe tell, I've reverted back to my old microphone because the other one kinda sucks. And it means that I'm going to have to swap in and out to do other projects with the sucky microphone, but, you know, that's not a big deal. I'll be talking about my other projects, probably maybe in a separate video, maybe not. But I've just been working with some friends on some things, and I thought maybe people would like to see them. And I figured if I'm going to be playing or doing stuff, I must have recorded playing stuff at least. So yeah, maybe expand my horizons a bit for what kind of videos I do. Anyway, not Minecraft though. I'm terrible at those. But anyway, as we last left our heroes, we were colonizing with Robo style, South Africa, or Southern East Africa, as it were. And we've got 2 colonies nearing completion with troops in place to hold that there. I was told not to reform. Political reforms, I agree that they kind of change fundamentally our kind of type of government. Being able to appoint our leaders is kind of a thing of HM government. So yeah, I'm not going to be doing a whole lot with this since we'll said no to doing that. Social reforms, though, I'll be doing as I think are needed, or how many people, population, want it. If it goes into the point something people want it, like instead of point zero something, point something, I might do it. And because of our militancy, as you can see, it's going up rather badly, because we have a lot of war exhaustion. So I might not be taking advantage of any casus belli in the near future, with the exception of maybe some of the colonial ones that go over here. I just really need to drop that before I'm gaining militancy by the month, by the day now. So eventually that's just going to build up and build up and build up and build up, and then I'm going to get a horrible, like, revolt everywhere. And, you know, it's not too bad. Mostly reactionaries, rioters, anarcho-liberals, I guess. So, yeah, we'll have to deal with that sooner or later. Obviously, this is helping, but things that increase assimilation or tech rate, I'm going to leave the same, because I feel that the needs of our empire at large outweigh the needs of having to move a few troops around. The colonial casus belli I'm talking about are basically border disputes with uncivilized nations or colonial provinces. We could get one up here with the United States. Obviously, I'm not going to do anything about that. And I might get one with Russia for these ports here. But aside from those 2 things, I will probably try to take advantage of as many as possible, at least along here. Bengal especially, or Awad. I don't know how to pronounce that. Yeah, and I have a couple of proposals for the formatting of this to make things go a bit more smoothly, so I don't have to worry about what I'm going to do. So, since I've solved the issue by reverting the microphone of the cutting in and out causing the robo voice, I'm going to be cutting as usual, but I've considered it, and I realize that there is merit in showing everything, and that I'm moving troops around, micromanaging, doing stuff. That is an important aspect of the game, while it might not be fun to watch for most people. So, for now, I'm just going to show everything. Or not show everything, but cut. But something I was thinking of doing is doing a certain time limit on how much I'm spending in the game. So I guess so that people have more of a choice in what I'm doing every day to day. I really like the kind of pseudo, you know, nobility thing people were doing in one of the other videos. That's really cool. If it got a little out of hand with the calling people heathens and stuff, but you know, that's fine too. That's the kind of thing that I was kind of hoping for. because of that's what kind of happened on the screenshot ones I read. And there's actually one going on right now, the Azerbaijan one. I'm not sure about the access to the Something Awful forums right now, but Wiz is running another. Wiz is the guy who did part of the mod, the Deus Volt Improvement Pack. He had a couple of mods in there. And it was what inspired me to do this. He's running an Azerbaijan one right now, over here. And if you get access to the forums, go check it out. Or, sometimes the forum access goes in and out. As a member, I don't really check to see when stuff happens, when it ends, that stuff. Anyway, enough plugging other people's stuff. I was thinking a 2-year time limit, or cutting it at an hour, whichever comes first. To basically make it so that I have a good chunk of stuff to show, but I get more of a chance to have people contribute if they want to. It also means that I have a slightly shorter update cycle, which means I don't have big chunks of stuff that I'm just uploading, and people can, people's reactions to stuff and things like that will not be, 3 or 4 updates in advance of something, telling me to do something when I've already done something that's kind of counter to what that wants. So, yeah, this will probably be kind of a rebuilding thing and trying to get my militancy down, so there may not be a lot of excitement going on in this one, but we're going to be keeping our eye on some wars here, particularly this one. Right now, Bohemia is losing to Scandinavia in a war, but they've started capturing some stuff, so the war is probably swinging in the favor of Bohemia, as it probably inevitably will. But it depends on how much navy control Scandinavia has over the Öresund here, so they can control whether Bohemia can actually move in there. Bohemia is actually landlocked, I believe. Yes. So, it probably would be very hard for Scandinavia just to block Bohemia's troops. And I don't think there are any allies in the war. No, it doesn't look like it. So, yeah. Sardinia, Piedmont's obviously fallen from grace, and it doesn't look like Denmark is going to be there for very long. If we look here, Occitania is rising rather dramatically, and yeah, by the time they their industrial capacity gets probably 10 or 12, they may overtake the Netherlands. So I don't know. That'll be real interesting, and we've ordered them. We got fairly good relations with them, so that'll be good. Having another strong-ish ally in Europe to go along with Rome. They may not ally with us, in general, but we support them and we've helped them. Brown France is better than light blue France. Although dark blue France is our favorite France right now because they're our bitch. So, yeah. What I want to do here, I want to build a bunch of dudes and a bunch of ships, because these numbers are starting to, they're not bad right now, but if they get to like 9 or 10, then I'll start getting lots of revolts, and it'll be really bad. So what I want to do is I want to build troops everywhere I can and cut out some of the red guys. And I'm going to do this off screen because I'm just going to go through a bunch of provinces and do it, and then I'll come back with what I'm doing. Okay, so as you can see, I haven't paused the game yet, but as you can see, I've basically tried to build troops everywhere I can. Still have another army here I can build. Mostly for places that are not my my culture, I have been building infantry and horse artillery, as I need artillery. Where I need artillery, I should say. And the rest of the places I've just been building infantry because it's better. Hussars are not very good. I do have a ton of them, but they're not very good because they don't have a good attack score. They have good maneuver, which is great for flanking stuff, but it's not that great. So I'm trying to minimize the amount of them I'm using. But when I can get some good cavalry like dragoons or cuirassiers or something like that, I'll use them. I've been building a large amount of troops. Everywhere I could build, I built them, and a bunch of steam transports and commerce raiders. What I'm going to do with those is I'm going to replace, I'm going to try to replace, I should say, all of my clippers transports with steamers. And I'm going to try to see if I can get another steamer place built. Now, when building up like this, you actually make money if you have a lot of military infrastructure, which I do. Yeah, and then they will, my capitalists will reply to the demand by building more factories and stuff like that. I do need to rename some of my armies, because the army of Carthage is in France right now, or Brittany, I should say. And the army of Brittany is just one of many armies in Brittany, so yeah. South Africa garrison, I need to get rid of some of these red guys. And I've been trying to drop as many of these red guys as I can. Mostly for role-playing reasons. Just because I feel like being a benevolent leader and letting people go back to their homes if there aren't enough men there to supply their things. And for things like hussars, I could care less if they are there or not. Your quality of troops is a large factor in this game. So get rid of some there. All these guys are good, I know that already. Okay. Yeah, so we're pretty much good. As you can see, it's lowered a little bit because I've been deleting a lot of guys that are at that. A lot of those are stuff we started with. It's stuff that we just can't really support. So, I'm going to cut here, and I will be back when something else happens. Okay, here we go. Because we've gone over 5 militancy, I believe, we can enact a regulation here. All of these reduce the amount of money you get, one way or another. Healthcare, I believe, increases your, not your government costs, but your standard of living, I believe. Pensions and unemployment subsidies are under social spending in my budget. As you can see, I'm already spending quite a bit on that. Safety regulations make your factory maintenance go up. The factory throughput goes down when you increase the work days, but as you can see, it's a rather substantial bonus for losing pop militancy, which is really good. And then later it starts increasing consciousness and stuff like that, but you start getting substantial penalties to your factory throughput. As you get techs that increase that, it becomes less of a big deal. Minimum wage is kind of major because it can really put a dent in your economy if you enact it too early. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to go for safety regulations. It makes our factories a little bit more expensive to run, but it also reduces our militancy, which is really, really good for us right now, considering that's one of the things we're trying to reduce. So yeah, see, it'll cap out at, I don't know. But as our war exhaustion goes down, that should really help. Okay, we have discovered pragmatism, which is a thing that gives us more prestige. So, yeah, that's good. Okay, Croatia has declared war on Montenegro. They do have a core on them. So that makes a lot of sense. This is like Ragusa. So I don't know how they're gonna get there. I mean, they're not landlocked or anything, but it doesn't look like we've got any. Roman's moving some troops up here. Maybe doing something. But we'll see how that turns out. Not really of any area interest to us, so yeah. Nothing going. Alright, we got tensions in Brazil. Let's fall back and lose 10 prestige, because I don't really care about Brazil. Okay, this is kind of a major thing. Not major, but it's an interesting trade-off for us. Also, we have a thing where we can increase our relations over the paper, or our sphere of influence the opinion of the Papal States. In Nampula, Mozambique, which is over here somewhere, right here. See, 8.3 militancy. That's really bad. Has erupted into statewide emergency as violent fighting and looting breaks out on the streets. The situation threatens to turn into a massacre unless something is done soon. Colonial police are standing by ready to intervene in an attempt to restore order. They're holding back pending detailed instructions from the governor. We can intervene immediately, and this will make us lose 5% of the population, lose 1 militancy, and gain 10 consciousness. Or we can intervene eventually, lose 20% of the population, and lose 20 consciousness. So lose 2 consciousness. I'm actually going to pick this one because you can see our British population here is quite low. So, yeah. And that should lower our stuff a bit. Yeah, there you go. So let's increase our papalness. Increase our their bandless. Awesome. Now, since Sardinia Piedmont is no longer a great power, we'll probably be able to steer them. Although we may not want to, because they're probably going to get involved in a war with Rome sooner or later. Unless they do something else. Okay. Let's conduct a real investigation there. And, right. Okay, I moved pretty much all of my units in India to Bangalore. Okay, so what is the supply limit here? 49. Okay, so let's break it up like this. Send these guys to Mangalore. Get rid of this red guy. Okay. Okay, it looks like Colombia has defeated Peru and taken a big chunk out of them. So yeah, that's interesting enough. Colombia might be really powerful, assuming they do something with Ecuador. Occitan, maybe we pronounce that. Venezuela might be a stumbling block for them. Looks like Brazil is starting to beat Chile. But it looks like Chile might be fighting back a bit better, so we'll see how that turns out. Alright, aristocrats incite the peasantry, just what I need. So take arms, impoverished, starved, and hungry brethren of Lindenberg. In the name of our Lord, in defense of eternal rights, let us drive the occupiers out of our land. Local aristocrats in Leidenberg are arguing revolution against our rule. I thought that was over here. I guess not. Be in France. I don't know. Oh, maybe South Africa. There we go. Okay. Local aristocrats in Leidenburg are arguing revolution against our rule. We could confront them now, but then again, that might be better to wait for another opportunity. You can say, we will not be provoked by this drivel. All aristocrats gain 3 consciousness, and farmers gain 2 militancy. We can crush the revolters. All aristocrats in population changed by minus 10%, and gain 8 militancy. Well, culture's rather smattering here. There's a lot of Germans there, that's weird. But mostly, Ukrainians. What? Whatever. Ukrainians are cool too. Let's take a look at that. Let's look for our aristocrats. Well, there are 0 aristocrats. How many farmers are there? Probably most of them are farmers, considering it's a grain-producing province. A lot. Okay. So we're going to gain a lot of militancy either way, but this has absolutely no bonus for us, so... At least the consciousness for people that don't exist is better, I guess. So, yeah. Okay, another event like this. I think I've gotten this one before. Cindy, so... Over here. Doesn't really matter. I don't want to gain any... Well, shit. I'll gain militancy either way. Disperse them. Okay, and we have gotten a railroad tech. That's really good. Okay. So, going further with industry seems like a good idea at this point for a cheap steel, inorganic chemistry, and high and low pressure steam engines. However, I'm falling a bit behind in my military tech, so I'm going to take strategic mobility for now, and then the next one I'm going to take is state and government to get another national focus to help with things a bit. So, I mean, the more national focuses I can have, the better. Wildcat bills. A bank run has ensued in one of our states today, following news that a local bank has been issuing currency to a value far exceeding its liquid assets. The situation has been raised to the national level in Parliament, where opponents of free banking use the case to argue against the system of free banking as such, calling on the government to move toward a tighter regulation of the banking sector, which is opposed by powerful interests within industrial circles and the free trade lobby. The institution of free banking is a fundamental pillar of free trade. All pops in Madras pay £50. Wow, that's ridiculous. Gain 5 militancy and 5 consciousness. Or we can say, we will not let the whims of profiteers dictate the national economic policy, and that's what we're going to do. And we're also going to raise our relations with somebody. We need relations with Bohemia. Or United States, yeah. They hate us, sort of. Okay, we've discovered a work specialization. Our factory output efficiency tech is plus 2%. That's good. Okay, taking advantage of my ability to promote my own interests in government, I will appoint the reactionaries as my government so that I can get rid of this. The Libyan coast needs a factory, so let's build one there. Libyan coast. What does the Libyan coast make? Wool, fruit. So yeah, basically fruit, grain, yeah, okay. So let's build a winery there. liquor distillery. And then we'll do sugar. What a winery. Yeah. Okay. And that should be pretty profitable even with the low numbers. And it looks like Wales needs some clerks, but the clerks are doing stuff, so we'll just go with that. Oh, and as always, I will ask my people what they want. And as you can see, this makes people really mad. We'll hold on election. That's just what we need right now. Crap. Okay, another nation has started construction on the Kiel Canal. This is undoubtedly Scandinavia, as they are the only ones who can do this. This is in Kiel, which is in southern, well, Schleswig-Holstein, I guess, is the area it is now. So, okay, foreign goods. Made in where? Artisans in the Karachi region fear for their livelihood. In every stall in every market where there seems to be more and more goods stocked from abroad, the artisans have started a public campaign to sway the rest of the population towards protectionism. Their rallying cry is simple and blunt: our nation, our markets, and our goods. We could launch a public relations campaign detailing the importance of free trade to our export industry, but such a move will disgruntle our artisans. We could launch the counter-campaign. All pops in the Karachi region who support protectionism gain 2 militancy, and all artisans gain 1 militancy. We could say, our nation, our markets, and our goods indeed. And all pops 30% more in favor of protectionism. All pops of the Karachi region support free trade, gain 3 militancy. Could look here. Seems more people want protectionism and free trade, but not by much. There are quite a few artisans here too. So I guess we'll say, yeah, that's cool. Well, this is auspicious. Prisoner. The Roman Empire has declared war on Austria-Hungary. That'll be rather interesting to see who wins that. Yeah. Okay, the Guangxi clique has gotten light peace in the Turkish Caliphate, or rather they gave up and stopped fighting them because they were trying to get something from them, and Austria is now mobilizing. Interesting. Okay, so we have created a colony in the Lorenzo Marx region. Okay, and Khartoum. Minorities in Khartoum region are starting to gather and protest over the right to own property. Dishonest landowners and the state have repeatedly abused the minorities by collecting rent and evicting them on false charges. The minorities have little legal recourse to their rights, as their rights are almost non-existent. Recently, a family of immigrants who were wrongly evicted from their residence died from exposure during an extremely cold night. Khartoum is in Sudan. Well, I guess it might be a desert. Newspapers have picked up the story and are inflaming public opinion against our residency laws. We could let the anti-residency settlements grow. We could pay off some newspapers to run an opposing story detailing the uncouth and devious nature of minorities' culture. We could say these people are humans and they deserve rights. We get 30% more in favor of limited citizenship, and everybody who favors residency, which is 7% of the population of the province, gain 2 militancy. And I could say run the counter story and keep them repressed. And all pops in the Khartoum region who are not British or accepting culture gain 2 militancy. That's even worse, so we're going to pick that. Oh, and my national focus. I will be doing what I tried to do before, which is to make Bangalore here a state. So let's encourage bureaucrats there. Okay, we get some of our Suez Canal monies. We could actually lose money on that. still like protectionism here. Look at that. And that's great. And our annuity thing. So that's really good. Just get a little bit more money. We're not doing it for the money though, we're doing it for the transport bonus. We're getting a lot of money. Okay, so we've had a tensions dissipate, and we've also had a colonial incident. Now, what this does is it gives us a causes belly on somebody. Who is it? Bengal. Okay, a colonial regiment in one of our colonies has had an encounter with a regiment from another colonial power, which had, according to a military report, crossed into our colonial claim on an obscure waterway a fair distance into the colony's hinterland. The report further goes on to state that this foreign regiment was, when encountered by our patrol, in the process of conducting a geological survey in the area, the object of which is as of yet unknown to us. Hawkish members of our war cabinet see this as a direct assault on the Celtic Union's territorial integrity, and call for the execution of a plan they have deemed quite simply Operation Celtic Fury. An invasion through here, and then deploy the troops so and so. Interesting. Okay, a casus belli on Bengal expires April 5th, 1854, so next year. And our relations go down by 20. Like I say, I do not believe that this is really worth going to war over, truth be told. We gave 5% more in favor of jingoism and gained 0.5 militancy. Okay. I am going to accept this one, because there's no real downside to it. We're probably at like 0% relations anyway. Minus 200 relations. We can also increase sphere of influence on Japan. I believe they are in Russia's sphere, so yeah, we will increase their opinion of us, but we're going to remove our guys from there. It's not worth it. It's not worth the time. So I guess I should start preparing for war against them. Well, they were split into two parts, and the Ahmadabad here is not a colonial region, but this is the Amjer region, so we can cut them down to one province here. Or we can grab a much more lucrative South Bengal, although Cuttack is not part of that, so we'd have to grab that separately. But grabbing an extra one would cost us more infamy. So I'm going to cut it here because this is kind of a major decision, seeing as our militancy is so high, and our war exhaustion is only about down to half of what it was. And so we're not losing militancy yet. We have some reforms we can do. Trinket minimum wage, 14-hour workday, acceptable safety, low subsidies, trinket pensions, and low health care. If anybody wants this, vote for this too. But I was pretty sure the consensus was that we didn't want these, so at least these ones in general. So you can pause the video to see exactly what these new do and how many people want them. But these would lower our militancy, so if we wanted to go to war, it'd be a good idea to do one of these. And let's check our infamy. 20.68, so we have about 4 to work with. The infamy limit is 25, as you can see there. So, which region should I grab? Cuttack would make me have prettier borders. South Bengal would probably be the best option, or Amjer, which would be probably the most damaging to Bengal's territory. Actually, South Bengal would probably be much more damaging to their territory, but this would have us stretch more into India and cut them down to one province in this area. So we wouldn't have to plant a bunch of troops here. Although, you know, there's other people here. Or if I shouldn't go to war with them at all, and just build up my, go down on my militancy. Go down, let my militancy go down. That came out in a really weird way. Anyway, yeah. So, those are the options. And if anything else you want me to go on, if you want me to go over something more thoroughly, let me know. If you want me to focus on paying attention to different parts of the world, if anybody has a place they are rooting for that they want me to focus a bit more on. See, look at this. Bohemia is actually occupying part of that. They must not be controlling this very well. But it doesn't look like we're getting into Gotha land here in Malmo. So, yeah. So let me know. I'll do it. I've been paying a lot of attention to this and Europe. So, like if Russia's not doing a whole lot, honestly. They speared these guys and then just kind of have done nothing for a while. So, yeah. So I'm going to continue to try to sphere these guys, although with me spreading my stuff so thin, it'll take a while, but that's fine. It's more of a long-term goal anyway. And, yeah. So I'll see you next time.